Right, now we'll go for second problem. Listen, at what angle should a ray of light be incident on the surface of the prism of refracting angle 60 degree? That is, A is given 60 degree, so that it just suffers total internal reflection at the other face. Refractive index of the prism is 1.55. So here what are the parameters given? A given, refracting angle equal to 60 degree. Refractive index also given, mu equal to 1.55. And what should be the ray of light angle be incident on the surface? You are going to calculate what is I1, and I2 is given here. By reading the problem properly, you can understand that I2 equal to, it suffers total internal reflection at the other face. It means the angle of incidence is at the prism is critical angle, which is suffers a total internal reflection. That means the emergent ray passes through the interface. Emergent ray passes through the interface. Then here I2 becomes 90 degree. Because angle of refraction is 90 degree for critical angle. Angle of incidence is critical angle. The angle of refraction is 90 degree. Here our I2 becomes 90 degree. That is the assumption you are going to make. I will draw a rough diagram here supporting the problem. Draw one triangle like this, A, B, C. Now a ray incident at the face AB. Just draw a normal to this. Then it undergoes refraction here, and this refracted ray inside the prism falls on this face AC such that the angle of incidence is critical angle. The angle of incidence is critical angle. Now if for this angle is 90 degree. So this is our I2. This is our I1, which is to be calculated. Let us take these angles as R1 and R2. So this is our supporting diagram. Now we will go for calculation. So from Snell's law we are having at the second face AC. Apply Snell's law to the face AC. You can write sine of I2 by sine of R2 equal to refractive index mu, or sine of R2, because we are going to calculate what is R2 first, equal to 1 by mu into sine of I2. That is sine of R2 equal to 1 by, refractive index is given 1.55 into sine I2 is 90. So sine 90 is equal to 1. So simply this is equal to 1 by 1.55, which gives 0.645, or R2 equal to sine inverse 0.645, which is equivalent to 40 degree. So we got the value for R2 equal to 40 degree. From the diagram we can show A equal to R1 plus R2, or R1 equal to A minus R2. We know the value for A and R2, which is A is 60, R2 is 40. So equal to 20 degrees. So R1 equal to 20 degree. So write down the values here. R1 equal to 20 degree, R2 equal to 40 degree. Now you go for solving I1. So mu equal to same formula, sine of, now for the first phase, I1 by sine of R1. So sine of I1 equal to mu into sine of R1 equal to mu, we know the value for mu 1.55 into what is sine of R1, sine of 20 degree equal to 1.55 into 0.34, sine 20 is 0.34, which gives, multiply these two, will get 0.53. So sine of I1 is 0.53. So I1 equal to sine inverse of 0.53. So sine inverse of 0.53, we will get I1 again equal to 32 degrees. So this is our answer. So a ray of light should falls on the face at an angle 32 degrees such that it suffers total internal reflection, so that the emergent ray is 90 degree. What is total internal reflection? That you have to answer. Total internal reflection, if a ray is entering from denser medium to rarer medium in a particular angle, the angle of refraction is exactly 90 degree. That is critical angle. So for that critical angle, if the angle of incidence is above the critical angle, the ray suffers total internal reflection. That is, it bounces back to the same medium, which is called total internal reflection. We will discuss in our next video.